This episode of Film Riot is brought to you by Netflix and Squarespace. Welcome to Film Riot, the show that takes the mystery out of the effects and techniques that go into some of your favorite Hollywood films, like, off the top of my head, How to Make Out with Kate Beckinsale and Get Paid for It.
In the beginning, Adam bites the apple. In 1903, the first narrative film is made. In 93, Spielberg says F you to evolution. And in 2009, Film Riot is released to the world.
Want to be a filmmaker? Well, so do I. Let's figure it out. We're going to be following Trying Films from pre to post-production as we make our latest short film, Tell. Along the way, we're going to be showing you how to accomplish great effects with little to no budget. And every now and again, we'll be jumping over to Full Sail University to get you advice from the pros. So grab some popcorn and get comfortable. This is Film Riot. Now out in theaters is the latest in the Star Trek franchise. Directed by J.J. Abrams of Lost and Mission Impossible fame, this inclusion into the series promises to be one of the best, and open back up that tough debate of which is better, Star Trek or Star Wars.
That's not a tough debate, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Star Trek.
What?
Huh? Star Wars. Star Trek!
Dude, Star Trek is the nerdiest thing on the planet.
Bro, popcorn the kettle black, how about the Force?
The Force is awesome! You wouldn't want to control minds? Yeah, right, tater tots? And try explaining the Klingon language. Entirely made up dialects so nerds can communicate without their moms knowing?
All I have to say is episode 1, episode 2, and episode 3.
Never happened! But you know what did happen? Princess Leia in a gold bikini on a chain held by a giant worm! That's pretty effing cool!
Alright, I'll give you that one, but we've got Captain Kirk,
who stutters like he has Down syndrome, and his right-hand man is apparently a freaking elf!
At least he wasn't trained by a Muppet!
Yoda was a Jedi Master!
Spock was a Vulcan!
Cut you in halves.
Set phasers to you up! Never bring a lightsaber to a phaser fight!
You're such a freaking nerd.
Are we going to dinner or not?
Yeah, I just have to change my pants.
Me too.
Star Trek. That's it! I'll never join you!
What, dude?
It's a line from your movie, dude.
Gotcha. In honor of Star Trek being released this month, which was fantastic, by the way, we figured, we'd marinate you in a little sci-fi lovin', pop the oven on 350 and put you right in there. We're going to start with the lightsaber effect. Now the first thing you need to do is to get the base for the lightsaber. There's a million places you can go online to find to build those, but we just went to Walmart, spent $5 and got one. Use a cardboard tube to make equal width the entire length of our lightsaber. Now we taped up the brown cardboard with yellow tape. The reason we did this was to get rid of all that brown because once Josh started flinging around the lightsaber, that color would easily get lost in the shuffle with all the motion blur. But the yellow tape will pop, and later in post-production will make our life a lot easier when we're going frame by frame. Now that you've finished shooting all your footage, you're going to take it into After Effects. Once there, you're going to create a new white solid and put it above this clip. Then drop the opacity so you can see the clip below it. Now, draw a mask around the lightsaber. Here comes the annoying part. You're going to set a keyframe for your mask shape, and now frame by frame, you're going to follow the lightsaber and keep reshaping the mask to follow the shape of the lightsaber as it gets spun around. So now that you've finished spending a metric nut ton of time on this task, correct, you're going to duplicate it 4 times and create a pre-comp. So now inside of this pre-comp, you're going to feather each mask little by little. So the first one's going to be 5%, the second 15%, the third 30%, and the last 60%. Now you should have something that looks like a lightsaber. The only problem is there's no color. So go back to your other comp and add a color correction to the pre-comp you just made. Then add whatever color you want, and bam, there you go, lightsaber. Now you probably noticed that our lightsaber was a little too thick. That's because we made our reference stick too wide. So when you make yours, make it as skinny as possible. That way in post you have all the choices you want to make it as thick or as skinny as you want to make it. There's definitely an innuendo in there somewhere.
All right, guys, Squarespace is sponsoring us. It's a perfect fit. Why? They're awesome. We're awesome. Synergy. But we're creative guys. I want to think outside of the box. Now, we could say Squarespace is a great publishing site for blogs, portfolios, or any other website, and that it's easy and unique to use, and in no time at all, you could have a professional-looking website, but we're filmmakers, okay? We got to add that emotional connection. So what I'm looking for from you guys is ideas. Josh, hit me.
I'm thinking taglines.
I'm liking it.
Squarespace, keeping families together since 1959.
Since before the internet was created. No. Tim,
Jingles.
hit me with the jingle.
Who lives on the internet and makes sites for me? SpongeBob Squarespace.
Copyright infringement. No. Josh,
Get a Squarespace so you contract a horrible skinning virus.
not at all factual. Tim,
Dude, you're getting a Squarespace.
Go to squarespace.com or I cut your effing throat.
too many legal issues. Tim,
First rule of Squarespace, we don't talk about Squarespace.
you are a pathological plagiarist. Josh,
Get a Squarespace and email this to 5 people in the next 5 minutes or your mother will die.
your spam folder. Tim,
You're in good hands with Squarespace. What happens in Squarespace stays in Squarespace. Friends don't let friends drink and drive.
give it. Josh,
If you turn down one more of my ideas, I kill Tim.
that's morbid. Tim,
Yo quiero Squarespace?
your parents were cousins. Josh,
Get a Squarespace or I kill this effing puppy.
no, where'd you get the dog? Tim, you know, you had a good one at the beginning there. What was it?
Use the code Film Riot when you sign up and you'll receive 10% off the life of your order.
You're such a freaking nerd.
The phaser effect is very similar to the lightsaber effect, but much easier. Basically, you're going to go get your footage using anything you want for a gun, including your own hand.
Bro, pop on the
So take your footage into After Effects. Once there, you're going to create a new white solid. But this time, you're only going to create about 4 or 5 frames for that mask. The first one's going to be starting to come out of the phaser, the second shooting towards your character, possibly hitting, and then reflecting off of if that's what you're looking for. Now you're going to duplicate it only 3 times, pre-comp that. Now with this, you're only going to send the mask feather from 5 to 15 to 30. Then go back to your other comp, add color correction to whatever color you want. Ta-da! A phaser.
What the frick?
Here we go.
So now we're going to turn to the hand lopped-offedness osity. I have the footage I shot here in After Effects already. I shot this on a tripod to make life easier so I don't have to motion track or anything like that. Now when I shot it, I did 3 things. 1, I got a clean plate, which you see here. Then I had Tim lift his hand into frame, then move it out again as if it was cut off.
Whole thing?
All right, now I have everything separated here, which I have my clean plate layer. Then I have this bloody gory meat looking thing. Then his arm layer, which I'll mask out. Then a lightsaber, and then the top layer of his hand, which gets chopped off. So now it's time to start masking. I've already masked this off, revealing that gory bit of man meat behind it. Anyway, now I'm gonna add that phaser gun clip to above, mask out the phaser, and the hard part, just like the lightsaber, is following it down as he moves his hand. There you go, all 3 effects. Now, if you want to avoid a mistake, like a lightsaber that looks like Kelly Clarkson when she turns to food instead of a therapist, that's more hate mail. Watch Star Trek, Star Wars, or anything relevant to the material. That way you can learn from the pros and not make the same mistakes we did. So go out and rent. Watch this segue. Hello, friend. If you're going to be renting, you're going to want to go with Netflix. They have over 90,000 titles online, including a whole lot of Blu-ray. And with free shipping both ways and 40 shipping centers, so you get it overnight, well, you're out of excuses. Netflix plans start as little as $4.99, and as a new member, you get a free 2-week no-risk trial. Just check it out at netflix.com/Film Riot. And my friend, don't forget the www. That's it, the end of our first episode. Now we're all really excited, but I'm not going to beg you to come back next Thursday or tell your friends to IM, email, Twitter, blog, Facebook, etc., etc. I believe in the show. I think it stands on its own. So I'm just going to leave you with a digital high five and say, hey, maybe I'll see you next Thursday.
Yeah, right, Tater Tots. and try explaining.
Why didn't you see that coming?
I don't know why I didn't see that coming.
Are we going to dinner or not?
Oh, jeez.